Sometimes the greatest teachers come dressed in rags, and the voice of wisdom whispers not from a throne, but from the dusty road where a beggar walks with grace. Long ago, in the heart of an ancient kingdom stood a city called Sundara, known for its wealth and beauty. Marble palaces shone like silver, and golden markets stretched as far as the eye could see. But beneath the glittering towers, in the dusty streets, sat a poor old beggar named Raman. His clothes were torn, his hair gray, and his hands rough. Yet his eyes, deep and calm, carried a strange peace that even the rich could not understand. Every morning, Raman would sit by the temple gates, smiling gently at passers-by. When people threw coins at him, he would bow and say softly, "May your heart find more joy than your gold." The people laughed. "He's crazy," some said. "What does a beggar know about joy?" But Raman never argued. He only smiled. The smile of someone who knew something the world had forgotten. One afternoon, a wealthy merchant named Devraj passed by. His robe shimmered with silk, and gold rings glittered on his fingers. Seeing Raman sitting calmly in the dust, Devraj sneered. "Old man, why waste your life begging? You could work, serve the palace, or sell something. Don't you feel shame?" Raman looked up, his voice calm and kind. "I work, my lord. I give peace to those who have lost it." The merchant laughed harshly. "Peace? You sell peace sitting in rags?" Raman nodded. "Yes, for I have learned that when the mind is free, it needs no palace to rest." Devraj frowned. "Nonsense. Money is peace. Without wealth, life is misery." Raman looked into his eyes and said, "If that were true, my lord, why do the rich still worry and the poor still sing?" Devraj had no answer. He threw a coin at Raman's feet and walked away angrily. That night, in the royal palace, the king of Sundara could not sleep. He had dreamt of a voice whispering, "A beggar holds the wisdom your kingdom needs." The next morning, the king called his advisors and said, "Find this beggar who sits by the temple. Bring him to me by afternoon." Raman was brought before the king. The guards expected him to tremble, but the beggar bowed calmly and smiled. The king asked, "Old man, are you the one they call the Wise Beggar?" Raman chuckled softly. "I am just a man who listens to silence, my king." The king leaned forward. "Tell me then, what wisdom could a beggar possibly have for a king?" Raman replied, "The same wisdom that the ground gives to the sky, that all greatness rises from humility." The court fell silent. The king was intrigued. The king decided to test the beggar. He said, "If you are so wise, tell me, what is the most valuable thing in this world?" Raman smiled. "The most valuable thing, your majesty, is contentment. For a man who is content needs nothing, and a man who is not will never have enough." The ministers whispered among themselves. The king raised another question. "Then tell me, old man, how can a man find contentment?" Raman answered, "By learning to be grateful for what he already has, instead of chasing what he does not." The king frowned slightly. "That sounds too simple." Raman nodded. "Yes, my king. Truth is simple. Only our pride makes it difficult to accept." The king sat back, impressed. He saw in this poor man a wisdom far greater than that of his learned priests. Still, the king wanted proof. He said, "If you are truly wise, then answer me this. If I offer you a bag of gold and a loaf of bread, which will you choose?" Raman smiled gently. "I will choose the bread, my king." The king laughed. "Why not gold? With gold you can buy 1,000 loaves." Raman replied, "Because I am hungry now. And no amount of gold can feed hunger if bread is what the body needs." To choose what is necessary over what is tempting, that is wisdom. The king grew quiet. For the first time, his pride softened. Days passed, and the king invited Raman to stay in the palace as a guest. Every evening, they talked for hours. Raman spoke not of scriptures or wealth, but of life. How peace is found not in riches, but in gratitude. How joy grows when one helps others, and how love is the only treasure that multiplies when shared. Soon the king began to change. He smiled more. He slept peacefully. He even walked through his city, greeting his people with kindness. One morning he said to Raman, "Old man, you have taught me more in 7 days than all my royal advisors in 7 years." Raman bowed. "Then my work here is done, my king." The king offered him gold, land, and clothes, but Raman refused. "Keep your gifts, my king. I came with nothing, and I shall leave with peace that is enough." When Raman left the palace, the people bowed to him. They no longer saw him as a beggar, but as a teacher. Years later, the king built a small shrine near the temple with the words engraved, "In honor of Raman, the wise beggar, who taught a king that true wealth lives within."